Since 1946, the Blue Angels have had the unique privilege of demonstrating to the American public the precision techniques of naval aviation, hoping to inspire a culture of excellence and service to country. The maneuvers you will see demonstrated here this afternoon are coordinated tactical techniques developed by Navy and Marine Corps pilots in both peacetime training and actual combat. These maneuvers are neither stunts nor daring feats, but are refinements of basic techniques taught to every prospective naval aviator. Here in the skies over Seattle, we will demonstrate these maneuvers at very low altitude in traditional Blue Angel formation, so that you may see and take pride in the precise fashion in which your Navy and Marine Corps pilots are trained to fly. Having completed their takeoff maneuvers at Boeing Field, the 6 demonstration pilots will rendezvous into the Blue Angel Delta. In this formation, the 2 solo pilots have joined to the outboard positions to create our signature 6-plane formation. As they approach, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the demonstration pilots you will be watching perform here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, flying Blue Angel number 1, the commanding officer and flight leader of the Blue Angels from Canton, Connecticut, Commander Adam Bryan. Flying Blue Angel number 2, the right wingman from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Commander Jack Kilty. Flying Blue Angel number 3, the left wingman from Beaufort, South Carolina, Major Brandon Wilkins. Flying Blue Angel number 4, the slot pilot from Georgetown, Texas, Lieutenant Commander Wes Perkins. Flying Blue Angel number 5, the lead solo from Baltimore, Maryland, Commander Thomas Zimmerman. And flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Freeport, Maine, Lieutenant Commander Connor O'Donnell. The Navy's Flight Demonstration Squadron, the Blue Angels, is the oldest performing U.S. military aviation demonstration team. Since 1946, the Blue Angels have brought naval aviation to men and women of all ages across the country. We were first based at Naval Air Station Jacksonville, Florida, flying F-6F Hellcats. We continued flying Grumman Corporation aircraft for 22 years, transitioning in late 1946 to the more powerful and faster F-8F Bearcat. In 1950, we transitioned to jet aircraft with the straight-wing F-9F2 Panther, the predecessor of the swept-wing F-9F8 Cougar, which we received in 1955. In 1957, the Blue Angels became equipped with high-performance aircraft with the arrival of the supersonic F-11F Tiger. In 1969, we received the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom and flew this supersonic jet until 1974, when we transitioned to the A-4 Skyhawk. In 1987, we acquired the F-18 Hornet and demonstrated its reliability over 34 show seasons. We are now in our 5th year of flying the combat-proven Boeing F/A-18 Super Hornet. the Delta approaches, you should get a good look at the entire Blue Angels formation prior to individual diamond and solo maneuvering. Now, directly before you, the 2025 Blue Angels. Blue Angel Diamond will momentarily be making its approach from the right. In relatively slow speed flight, they will give you an opportunity to get a close look at the precision flying that produces the 18-inch wingtip to canopy separation between these four aircraft. From the right,
the Blue Angel Diamond.
In a display of precision flying, the two solo pilots will soon cross over center point with minimum separation. Approaching center point nose to nose, Commander Bryan and Lieutenant Commander O'Donnell will roll their aircraft at 90 degrees angle of bank and cross canopy to canopy as they perform the opposing knife edge pass. The Diamond is approaching for a maneuver that is likely familiar to those of you who have seen the Blue Angels perform in the past. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the Diamond roll. All four aircraft flying as one in this graceful 360-degree rolling maneuver. The two solo pilots will next demonstrate the inverted flight capability of the F-18. Approaching nose to nose, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees and pass inverted. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing inverted to inverted pass. up for their next maneuver. Approaching center point on Commander Brian's command, all 4 pilots will simultaneously roll their aircraft 360 degrees as they perform the Diamond Aileron Roll. Here's Commander Brian.
16.4, clear.
Pilots and aviation enthusiasts who appreciate the difficulties associated with carrier aviation will enjoy this next maneuver, demonstrated by the 2 solo pilots. To the right, Commander Zimmerman and Lieutenant Commander O'Donnell will establish a mirror image formation. However, look closely as both aircraft are in the carrier landing configuration as they approach for a maneuver we call the Fortus. Who must land their aircraft on the small and sometimes pitching deck of an aircraft carrier at sea. Slow-speed flight is just as important as high-speed flight. In order to demonstrate the dirty, slow-speed handling characteristics of the Super Hornet, Commander Brian has called for the extension of the landing gear and tail hooks by the 4 Diamond pilots as they execute a maneuver performed by no other jet demonstration team in the world today. From the left, the Diamond Dirty Roll. Commander Zimmerman is approaching to demonstrate the maximum performance turn rate of the F-18. He'll execute a 7.5G afterburning turn and exit the show line vertically, showcasing the Super Hornet's turbo nose-low capability. As the 4 Diamond pilots approach once again, you should notice 2 significant modifications. The wingmen, Commander Kilty and Major Wilkins, maintain minimum wingtip to canopy separation. However, the flight leader and slot pilot are both in the inverted position. From the right, the Blue Angel double farvel. Diamond pilots are now stacked down and aft on a 45-degree bearing line to form a right echelon formation. From the right, at 378 miles per hour, the Blue Angel Echelon Parade. Setting up for their next maneuver, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are converging on center point to demonstrate the rapid roll rate of the F-18's fly-by-wire flight control system. Crossing center point, they will complete 2 consecutive rolls, totaling 720 degrees, with a combined closure rate of over 800 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing horizontal rolls. To the left, Commander Bryan is calling for a formation change, shifting the wingman into a left echelon formation. From the left, at 400 miles per hour, the Blue Angel left echelon flat pass. Now that Blue Angels 5 and 6 have your attention, you have witnessed firsthand the ability of a tactical aircraft at high speed to sneak into a target area virtually undetected. Lieutenant Commander O'Donnell will complete the maneuver with a series of vertical rolls, while Commander Zimmerman completes his rendezvous with the Diamond to the right. Commander Zimmerman has joined the Diamond in a line abreast formation. Still maintaining minimum separation, the pilots must now align themselves by looking 90 degrees from their flight path toward Commander Bryan's aircraft. From the right, at 350 miles per hour, the 5-plane line abreast flat pass. As they exit to the left, Commander Bryan calls for another formation change prior to detaching Blue Angel number 5. seen several flight profiles of the F-18. The two solo pilots will next demonstrate precision roll rate control. Crossing center point, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees, pausing after each 90 degrees of rotation. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing 4-point hesitation roll. Commander Brian is rolling out the diamond formation for another dynamic maneuver, the low brake cross. Approaching center point, each pilot will perform an individual brake turn and exit the show line in a separate direction. As each aircraft accelerates to 500 miles per hour, they will perform a reversal turn back toward the show line. You should be able to follow their individual smoke trails as all 4 aircraft converge on center point with maximum closure and minimum separation. To the right, the 2 solo pilots are making their approach to the flight line. Approaching center point, they will simultaneously roll their aircraft 420 degrees in section. Ladies and gentlemen, the double tuck-over roll. In front of the crowd to the left, the Diamond is rolling out to demonstrate the awesome power of these General Electric F414 engines. Let's listen as Commander Brian calls for the selection of Afterburner by the 4 Diamond pilots. As they pass over center point, you will hear and feel the thunder of 8 engines producing 168,000 pounds of thrust. Commander Zimmerman and Lieutenant Commander O'Donnell are approaching to demonstrate the slow speed handling characteristics of the Super Hornet in the clean configuration. They'll pass before you virtually standing Blue Angels 5 and 6 on their tails. At less than 120 miles per hour, the fly-by-wire flight controls provide the slow speed handling that sets the Super Hornet apart in the air-to-air arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the Section High Alpha Pass. The Blue Angels, home-based in Pensacola, Florida, completed an intensive winter training period at Naval Air Facility El Centro, California. The beautiful weather of the Imperial Valley provided us with the optimum conditions to fly each of the demonstration pilots on the 120 training flights necessary prior to our first public demonstration. Our show season opened on the 15th of March and runs through early November. The Blue Angels will perform 65 flight demonstrations this season while visiting 32 cities throughout the United States. The next portion of our flight demonstration will feature all 6 aircraft flying in formation. The Blue Angel Delta has been our signature 6-plane formation since 1958. Behind the crowd, to the right, the 2 solo pilots have joined the Diamonds to form the Blue Angel Delta. To the right, the Delta is setting up for their first maneuver. Approaching center point, on Commander Bryant's command, all 6 pilots will simultaneously roll their aircraft 360 degrees as they perform the Delta aileron roll. Let's listen in.
Little pulse. Steady, hit it. From the left, at 400 miles per hour, all 6 aircraft are approaching for the maneuvering Delta. As they pass over center point, you should get a good look at the Delta set used by the 5 wingmen. For a description of our maneuvers, as well as an in-depth look at our team and individual biographies, we invite you to visit our website and follow us on social media, including Facebook and Instagram. In front of the crowd, the Delta is making its approach to the show line. Approaching center point, the entire formation will separate in dramatic fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel Delta Breakout. Ladies and gentlemen, your United States Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron represents a time-honored tradition of pride, professionalism, and excellence, spanning 114 years of naval aviation. The 2025 team takes a great deal of pride in saluting Navy and Marine Corps aviators, maintenance crews, and support personnel everywhere. From the right, representing your United States Navy and Marine Corps, the 2025 Blue Angels.